Today on the channel, we take a journey back to the 90s as we take a look at the Disney Store Hasbro Pulse exclusive X-Force 3-pack. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends unboxing and review. And today we're taking a look at the Disney Store and Hasbro Pulse shared exclusive of X-Force. Yes, X-Force. But remember, for all your Marvel Legends needs besides this one, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. And X-Force, a 90s staple of my comic reading times, I guess late 80s, with the New Mutants transitioning, getting a little bigger, getting a little badder, getting a little bit more 90s as they transitioned into X-Force. And if you were a person of my age, you loved X-Force. You were here for X-Force all day. X-Force is the one that really brought us Deadpool to the forefront, and it's crazy to think back of first issue of Deadpool back in the day. You didn't really think a ton of it, and now where Deadpool is, everybody knows Deadpool, and he really rose through the ranks of X-Force. And of course, X-Force even got their own toy line from Toy Biz, of course. We're doing the X-Men figures, but the X-Force subline, a lot of great characters out of that line over the years. A lot of characters we've never got in Marvel Legends. I'm thinking of like GW Bridge, I'm thinking of Kane, Grizzly. There was a lot of them, especially some of the weird villains like Comcast and guys I don't even know where they are today in comic book land. I'm sure some of you guys do know. But there was a lot of cool figures back in that 90s Toy Biz days that we've never got updated into Marvel Legends, and I hope that happens in 2022 and beyond. That's got my fingers crossed for those. But X-Force, like I said, I was reading the comics of X-Force. I enjoyed X-Force. I loved the Toy Biz X-Force figures, so this really hits home for me. Hits home for a lot of collectors, as well as a lot of people have been wanting this Cannonball figure with legs. That has been a complaint. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We'll see where it goes from there. Of course, we'll compare it to the old version of Domino, the old version of Cannonball, and maybe the rest of the X-Force team as well. So let's start it off. Let's look at the package, and let's start talking about it like we always do. So there it is. There's that 3-pack packaging we know too well. We saw it recently with the Excalibur pack. We've seen it with that Love Triangle pack, the Family 3-pack. They have used these 3-packs over the years in the Marvel Legends team, as you guys are fully aware. Got Richter right there. Richter is the meat and potatoes of this one, at least from where I sit, as you guys know, is right here at this table. But Richter, another 90s classic X-Force fan. I mean, people love Richter back in the day. I loved Richter, especially his old toy. Happy to get that in the toy line here. That was the big selling point. Domino we've had before, but this is more of the iconic X-Force Domino, I would say. And then Cannonball, of course, we talked about old Sam not having legs in his prior release. So that's kind of righting a wrong from the past. And we'll talk about that in a second. But beautiful packaging here, the big window box. X-Force logo right there in the center. Absolutely love that. You guys know all about that. On the side, you get a little bit of those action figure cards. Once again, if you're a kid of my age back then, we got the comics, we got the figures, and we got the cards. We were all in. So these are always really cool. Same ones on the other side, of course. Little X logo at the top. Warnings, UPCs, boring. And then you got those cards on the back. A little bit of a letdown here, I guess, for me. We saw with the Excalibur backpack, they had the cards just like this, but there was blurbs with those cards telling about the characters, all that kind of fun stuff. Unfortunately, nothing going on here. It's just plain old card action. So a little bit of a letdown. I would have liked to have seen a little description. You know, it's been so long since I've read the comic books, I can't even remember what Richter was up to. I don't even remember his full story. So it would have been nice to hear some of those guys. Give us a little blurb. That's all I'm going to say. Give me a blurb. I want a blurb. All right, can I get him out of the package? Can I get him out? That's always half the battle itself sometimes, is getting him out of the package. What are we doing? Come on. There we go. Sliding on out. See you later. Nothing to see there. Background, what do we got? Oh, you got more cards. Let's see. Cannonball, Cable, Boomer. Trying to read some of these. Richter, of course. Domino. Pretty much the same guys. There's Shatterstar in here. So we got a few different ones. Really hard to see, but very cool. Some of you guys may save this background for a little display action. Choose your own adventure. See you later. All right, a little plastic prison action. Very cool. There they all are in the plastic prison. A little bit of tape in there. A little bit of grease to this plastic as well. But let's pop these guys out. loud crunch crunch, as you guys are used to, of course. Richter, he's got his effects, gotta have those. Richter used to cause earthquakes. I remember that being, oh man, he causes earthquakes. There we go, old Sam. Old Sam Cannonball, very underrated character over the years, in my opinion. One of the more popular New Mutants back in the day, at least in my circles, the old playground as I always talk about. Domino's weapon, and there we go. See you later. Get out of here. All right, separate all this stuff, all this fun stuff. Let's get it all separated and together. Oh, little Spider-Man action. See you later. There it goes. All right, we're going to kick it off with my boy Richter. Now, this is the one, probably like a lot of you guys, most excited for is Richter. First time in the Marvel Legends line. Very iconic guy in the X-Force team, especially the action figures back in the day. He had that little, I believe he had the little turn on his back, and he would kind of shake a little bit. Am I remembering that right? It's been a long time since I've seen that figure. But I do remember that being one of the things he did, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken there. I might even dig out for the glamour shots. I should dig out, see if I have these guys somewhere handy. I might dig them out and compare them to the old school Toy Biz. So if I do have them and I can find them easily, they'll be in the glamour shots. So stay tuned for that. But first thing I noticed on this when they showed the prototype pictures, and first thing I noticed right now is the beautiful head sculpt, face scan, whatever you want to call it, on Richter. Beautiful flowing locks. Oh, he's just all around going on flowing. Just a really good look to him. He's got his big green handkerchief and then his shoulder guards going on. This is just what I think of when I think of the Richter character. It goes back to the old toy, it goes back to the comic books. That's what we want in figure form. He's got his little bicep. They are not removable. He's got the bicep fringe there going on, much like Warpath or Thunderbird, one of those guys. And I do believe he had an Indian in his blood or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember what tribe he was from, but I do vaguely remember that. He got the big X on his chest. Beautiful, just beautiful. I don't have any paint application issues with this figure. That is also really nice, as every once in a while we get some issues, but no, very, very clean. He does have his big utility belt around his waist that is not removable. Let's see, the hands are removable, of course, we know that. Yep, the gauntlets, the little bracelet things there, they are removable if you are so inclined. So you can pop that in there and out. Very cool. Then he's got a nice blue on his thighs against the black. Always goes really good. Then he's got the big boots going on. And then I really do love on the feet here, the spikes around his feet. Really good. Really good attention to detail on him. Just a fabulous, fabulous figure. I think he is going to be the winner of the set for me just because I've wanted a Richter for so long. And just a good-looking figure as a whole. Very good-looking figure. As far as extra hands on here, we get two kind of like flying hands. I guess you call him, I always think of Namor when I think of these, as we got these hands with Namor, because he's swimming through the sea, swimming through the ocean, but you do have these, and then of course the effects, always get effects. We've seen these effects multiple times. I don't know if we've seen them in this lime green Richter color, but very easy to do, and I think he used to like clap his hands together to make the earthquakes go. Once again, I'm going off old school memories here, but got all the effects, everything you would want with Richter. Articulation-wise, a lot like all the other Marvel Legends out there. You get the double-jointed elbows, removable hands. The hands can move all around, up, down, all to the side. The biceps swivel. The shoulders go up and down. Now, the bad thing is with the arms, when you're going all the way around, that shoulder does... the shoulder pads, I guess he has, does limit some of the articulation. They are movable, so they do move out of the way a little bit, but they do limit some of that. Of course, the head moves all around, up and down. Once again, he can't move all the way back. His flowing locks get in the way of some of the articulation on his head. He does have big ab crunch. The waist moves. Thigh swivel, of course. Then you got knees. Double-jointed knees? Yes, but not a lot of room. That knee pad does block some of that. And then, of course, you got the ankle and the rockers and all that. Fabulous figure. Does he fit on a stand? Let's see. Let's do the old stand test. Fits like a glove, like it was meant to be. So Richter fitting on a stand. What more could you want? Perfect figure in my book for what I was looking for a Richter. So I'm very happy, very pleased with this. Like I said, that's the winner of the set as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if that'll change, but we got to see. We got to dig into Domino. We got to dig into Cannonball. See what all the fuss is about here. Now we turn our attention to Domino. Once again, another 90s X-Force staple. Also, if you guys know, I have a couple of dogs. Lemmy, of course. I also have a dog named Domino. named after Domino from the X-Force comic. So there you go. Not the biggest Domino fan in the world, but for whatever reason, when we got her, I said, boy, she reminds me of Domino from X-Force. Let's name her that. And that's what we did. So there you go. Articulation-wise on this one, same thing as Richter. All the same articulation points. Obviously a much smaller figure being Domino. A female figure, smaller. Just like the one we got in the past. We have this Domino right here. We'll stick here. Maybe she'll fit on a stand for us. That might help the matters. These female ones don't stand as well, as they just don't have a big enough base to stand. But it depends. What Domino do you prefer? To me, when I think Domino, I close my eyes. This is the Domino I think of. Reminds me back of X-Force #1. Of course, probably the most iconic X-Force comic book cover I would have to imagine. I do not like this face. I struggled with this with Scarlet Witch. What do you call this? It's not a mask. It's not a helmet. It's just kind of an outline of her face. It's very, very strange. I don't know what it's called. It's not a tiara. I don't know what the technical term is. Some of you guys help me out. What is the technical term? I guess mask, but it doesn't really cover her face, so I don't know. But it looks like it looks like it's a little bit of a mess. Like it needs to be heated up to kind of put back in place. It just covers over and it kind of closes together. It should spread out a little bit more. So some struggles with the face mask on this one, but it's okay. I mean, that is Domino. She's of course got her one black eye, got her regular eye, very white skin tone as we know with Domino. Nice bob, nice hair bob like she's right out of the 50s. Beautiful articulation on the head. You can move it every single direction. There is no limiting it like Richter. Move it every other which way you want to. We talked about articulation. She does have this famous belt, which we've seen with many female figures over the years. She has this, of course, in kind of a light purple color. Very 90s light purple, I always think of it as. She does have hands, extra hands as well. She comes with 2-fisted hands. She's a superhero. She should have fisted hands, so she does have those. You gotta have those, of course. She does have a thigh brace. With some ammo and stuff in there, nothing removable. It does move around. It is. She doesn't fit on a stand though. She's got too big of holes on her feet, so don't look for her to be standing on any stands for you. One of the rare Marvel Legends that does not fit on a stand. No paint application issues either on her. So Domino, I'm all in for. I like the looks of this. She's gonna have to lean against Richter as we dive into Cannonball. We do got to look at Domino's weapons here. She does have a very small blaster. Oh, there it is. I was like, which way is up, which way is down? Nice that they have the silver accents on this. It's always good when they add a little bit of color to some of these weapons. It makes them pop more. It makes them just seem more realistic, even though they're not realistic, but it makes it seem a little more realistic. But she's got a kind of a futuristic pistol type thing, much like she has right here. Not the same weapon, but kind of has that same kind of look to it, where this one's purple and everything else. I don't know, between the two, I think I like the classic, just a hair more, but that's first thoughts. But then the big blaster rifle, this is what I'm going to have her holding for sure. I love the silver on this one, just big and menacing, and there's something cool about a female superhero with just a massive gun, just, shooting. She's having the heavy artillery, she's ready to go. Man, just like that a whole lot. So very good on Domino. I'm still going to say Richter. I like Richter better. The colors, the look, everything else. But it is the classic Domino so many collectors have been looking for over the years. You finally get that. Now we turn our attention to old Sam, old Cannonball himself. This was a very controversial figure when it was released a few years ago. I might as well pull that one out right now. Got him right here. People didn't like that it didn't have legs, and for whatever reason did not bother me. I was very cool with this. Obviously I would have loved a pair of legs, but you can only display him in one unless you're buying two. And I said, well, if he had legs and I had to choose between the two, this is how I would display him. This is what I think of Cannonball taking off like a rocket. That's what I do. But now, as we've extended our shelves and we have more display room, or some do, some don't, as I've used different displays and stuff, now I got another Cannonball here, and I can have two versions of Cannonball. So I can have him with like maybe the New Mutants and this one with X-Force fighting on a different shelf. Smoke and mirrors, do what you want, choose your own adventure, as we like to say on the channel. But I was not against this one. I was okay with this one. I really did like the looks of this one. This is, I don't know if it's more classic. To me, they look almost the same, but there is definitely differences on the Cannonball figure, as you can see. It's the same base being used, but some changes, some tweaks, stuff like that. The coat is the same, body's the same, kind of the cross he's got going here is the same. The arms are the same, the gauntlets on his coat are the same. Same figure, but we got different paint. We got the white undershirt here with the dark purple jacket where you get a little lighter purple with a lighter purple jacket here, and then the gray instead of the brown on the arms. So there's definitely some differences here. We do get two heads with this brand new Cannonball figure as well, and it is reuse of that first head, so you're getting this head from this one plus a brand new head here. Once again, I love that. We got 2 different Cannonballs, 2 different heads. Really does make it feel like more of a different figure than just a simple repaint. That's what I think. But yeah, this one unfortunately has a little bit of a scuff on his chin, but I wouldn't be using this one on this one, as I'm going to keep it on this one. So that's how that's going to net out for me. But I'm okay, and I like they gave the idea of both heads going on. So that is nice. Of course, we'll look at this base here. Now, is the base the exact same? Yes, it is once again. Getting the most out of your mold. So it's the same base going on, but you can see the obviously color differences between the two. This one's more of a sublime color, I would say, just a little more toned down, where this is really all guns blazing, fired up. You got the really red to the orange to the white with the smoke. Very cool option with that one. And I'm sure he just breaks off at the waist. He does, just like pulling a head off. That's how they have this one, so you can pull him at the waist if you are so inclined, if you want to put him on there, and of course we're going to do that. But man, I like this one. I like Cannonball finally got his legs. I didn't know how bad Cannonball needed legs till I got it. And he does look really good. It just looks like an old school air pilot. Almost looks like a G.I. Joe character. And that's what I always kind of thought of with Cannonball back in the day. Almost looks like a character that would be in G.I. Joe, like a pilot or a helicopter pilot or something along them lines. I always thought he was a really great looking figure. Had a really good look to him with the pilot goggles up top, kind of that old school pilot hat type thing. Launchpad McQuack used to wear it in DuckTales all the time. You guys know what I'm talking about. I really do like that look. And then of course the hair over the top really gives it a cool just overall feel to this figure. I just like it a whole lot. We talked about the top. It's the exact same. The articulation is the same as all of these figures, so we don't need to walk through his articulation. You get down to the waist, though, he's got a molded in belt here with, it looks like bullets or something. Nothing's removable, nothing like that, but it does give a little difference and makes it pop. Then you got the purple and the white and the gray boots with the white on the belt buckles there. Just a lot of different colors. Not really fancy colors, very toned down colors, but they work together. They really pop. Just a fabulous looking figure. I really do like this one. Very solid, very strong. I'm sure he will fit on a ringside stand. Why wouldn't he? Of course he does. He fits perfectly on the ringside stand. Now let's pop his body off. Let's pop him back in half. Very easy to do. There's no fight, no force with this. It just pops right off, and then he will pop right on here, I am sure. And yes, he does. Not as easy. There you go. You got to push a little hard. It is what it is. It depends. How do you like your Cannonball? I'm sure a lot of you guys have the old Cannonball. Hopefully you guys picked up this new one, I think with Richter in the pack. A lot of people that maybe didn't want a Cannonball are getting one because of Richter. But I think there's room for both. At least there is in my collection. Maybe your guys's are different. I definitely prefer, for the base and the look, I prefer the old one how I had it here. So this is going to stay the same in my collection. I'm not going to move things around. This one, it just doesn't look as good to me on this base. And maybe it's the new coloring of the base, stuff like that. Just not the same. But I am going to pull this old one off of here, and we'll throw him on here so you can mix things around if you really want to. The purples just really don't match. I mean, it doesn't look absolutely terrible, but it just doesn't match perfectly. But you can do that if you are so inclined. You want to move your figures around. You want to do some moving and shaking and pulling and changing some things. You can do that if you are so inclined. So there you go. You got Cannonball. And, of course, we're really building this team up. We got Shatterstar, of course. You guys probably remember Shatterstar. Boom Boom, of course. Beautiful one. Love the gum chewing. Sunspot, an old favorite from people like me. Of course, Warpath, a very underrated figure. Some people didn't like this one. This one went to deep clearance. I love this Warpath. Very underrated in my book. And then Cable, of course, the leader of XForce. Love Cable. Something has always been a miss for me on this figure. Maybe it's the gun. I don't know. I would love to see another Cable, another shot at this, updating this one. Maybe even as a deluxe figure with tons of different guns, hands, effects. Because he is a bigger figure, as you can see with these guys here. But I love that we are really building in this XForce team. This set really helps with the classic Domino. Helps with Richter, first time in the line. Cannonball's kind of an afterthought a little bit, depending how you sit on your feelings on the last one and the new one. But I'd love to see some more. Grizzly, there's been rumors of Grizzly for a long time. Even the Hasbro team has made mention, hey, we got Ursa Major out there. Maybe we can reuse parts of that to make a Grizzly. I would love a big Grizzly deluxe figure. How cool would it be to have your X-Force display sitting with Grizzly in the back? But then there's a lot of those X-Force figures I mentioned earlier. You got the GW Bridges, the Comcast, the Kane. What was that guy that was like a pinkish color and he had the big braid that he spun around? Who else? There's just a lot of X-Force figures, villains and heroes from back in the day that I would love to see updated, brought to the current in the Marvel Legends universe. I think it would just be awesome. Fingers crossed. We'll see what 2022 brings, as we are still very, very early in the year. But for me, the true winner of this pack is Richter. Domino's somewhere in the middle, and I really enjoyed this Cannonball a lot more than I thought I would. So Cannonball, I'm here for it all day long. So what do you guys think? Are you picking this up? Was it an easy pass for you? Playing a little of that long game? As of right now, Disney Store exclusive, Hasbro Pulse exclusive, that's it. Who knows? The Big Bad Toy Stores, link in the description below, may get these in the future. So I guess would stay tuned to some of those out there. But let me know your thoughts here. While you're here, make sure you like the video. You made it this far. Give it the old thumbs up. Comment. Let me know your thoughts. Of course, share the video. Sharing is caring, as we all know. Follow me on social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Support the channel. Pick up a t-shirt. So for X-Force and a lot of 90s goodness, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.